Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the O Snap podcast, hosted by Snap Duo. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Reese. Today we are going over how to stand out in a crowded market, as well as get into our segment, Snapped.
But first, let's get into our weekly recap.
Yes, wedding editing. Galore.
A bunch of editing. Pretty much Monday, or not Monday, but the entire week we edited both photo and video of a wedding.
Yes, and
Friday,
it's going great.
Yes, Friday we edited the wedding, and we also went to dinner with Dan.
Yes,
You
we
got
did.
your quesadilla that you like from Island.
Spicy chicken quesadilla from Island's the best.
Saturday, edited a wedding, and then went to the drive-in.
Yes, we did. We saw.
Saw 10.
Yikes.
You'd think you'd be used to it after all the Halloween movies that you've watched.
No. Mm-mm. I've
Yeah.
never been a Saw fan, and
But it was definitely a good movie.
it was a great movie, but I just wasn't expecting.
It's a lot.
that.
It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Sunday we. What was that? Sorry, it's Ice Machine. You can guess it. We edited a wedding.
Yes, we did that all day on Sunday. We've gotten really good traction on it. Almost done, and I'm really, really, really happy with this wedding so far. How about you?
Very happy with it. I think it's going really smooth.
Yeah.
Haven't really ran into any road bumps or anything.
Mm-mm.
It's going really
Smooth
fast.
sailing. It's taking some time. This is it was our largest package we offer. So that means more photos and more video. But going super well.
That will be delivered by next episode. So we'll be able
Yes.
to share some stuff about it
Super exciting.
after it is delivered.
And hopefully by next week too, we'll have some of it on our Instagram as well. And our
Oh yeah, we
Facebook.
have a whole bunch of reels and posts and different behind the scenes and stuff that we can post, which will be a lot of fun.
Super, super exciting.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, kind of a chill weekend, especially compared to last weekend.
Very
But
relaxed.
caught up on work,
Yes.
relaxed, and just hung out with Dad, which is what we always like to do.
Oh yeah. Yes. I
So-
think that's it. I think that's the fastest we've ever gone through a weekly recap.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think there was anything big that happened this weekend.
No.
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 Very chill. But this upcoming weekend, we have a lot of work and stuff. So stay tuned for next week's weekend recap.
Yes.
There'll be a lot more in there.
Yes. So I guess now we can get into really fast, but we can get into standing out in a crowded market.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Lay it on me.
So the first question is, what are some things that we've done to stand out in a crowded market? And I have some different bullet points, and then I want to go over every single one of those bullet points
Okay.
off of some of the things that we've done. And
So
then
you're not
we both-
asking me. We're just going
No.
to go over what you have.
This is what I have, and you can also add to it as well.
Okay, cool.
So the first thing was develop a style.
It took some time.
Yes. Showcase a strong portfolio.
Yes.
Create a compelling website.
Took a lot of hard work.
Create an online presence,
Mm-hmm.
as well as defining our niche.
Yeah.
And
Which
then-
we're still doing every day.
Yes. Okay, so then the first question is, why is it important to develop a photography style?
I just feel like it's very important for us to have a specific style so that when people go onto our website, social media, they know exactly what they're going to get from us when they book with us. Rather than having, a bunch of different styles or, editing ways that a lot of people, some people do and it works for them. We are pretty in sync every session, every wedding.
Consistent.
Yeah. So you know what you're going to get out of us when you hire us, so there's no surprises.
Yeah.
We do always evolve, but I feel like it's not major changes to where, people will be like, well, I thought I was going to get this. If we do evolve, it's for the better every time.
Right, and yeah, consistency is key, and I think that it's really important. I would also say that with photographers and different photographers, they have different styles and stuff, and so with those different styles, it can attract different people.
Yeah.
As well as brand recognition.
Correct.
Somebody can look
It's
at our photo
nice.
online and be like, oh, wow, that looks like Snapduo's photo. Oh, wait, it is Snapduo's photo.
There's
You know?
a specific photographer that we admire, that we look at a lot, and she sells like her editing ways to other photographers, and it's really cool, and it's something that we aspire to be as we continue to grow. But we'll be looking at a photographer's work, and immediately we can go, oh, they used her editing style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we always like look just to see if we're correct. And 90% of the time, yeah, they did use her editing style. And that's creating a what did you say? A brand
recognition.
Brand recognition. So I think that we're also aspiring to do that, just so that when people do go on, they're scrolling through their phone and they see our photos, immediately they don't have to wonder like, oh, who took this? Immediately they're like, oh, that's Snapduo, which I think is super important, especially going back to the consistency.
Yeah, it's good to have artistic growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we've had a lot in the time that we've been in business. That's one of my favorite things to do, is go back to our first year of sessions even.
Now with that though, like with being consistent and having a specific style and everything, I think the one thing that we can't stand is when we deliver photos and they're beautiful and people like to slap their own Instagram edit over them and completely ruin the photo.
We've had people do it, a few. We've even had people that are like super close to us do it. And obviously we're not going to say anything to them, but
now we are.
Now it's a really, really, really big pet peeve of ours, just because, it goes with brand recognition as well. We send out the photos and they look like they're on brand for what we do. You hire us because you like our work, you like our editing style.
Yeah.
And when we see you post them and they have a completely different edit on them, but you're still tagging us in it.
I think a lot of people don't understand that just because, like we've talked about before, how we use presets and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people just think we snap the photo, put it on the computer, put on the filter. That's what they think about it.
They call it a filter. They don't call it a preset.
Put the filter on, and then that's it.
That's
I don't
all.
think they really understand about all the tweaking and everything that we have to do in order, and Photoshop and cropping and all of that.
Exposure, contrast.
To get the final product that they have and they're now trying to post and stuff.
When we say that, we literally, when we put an edit, we have a preset. That's what it's called, a preset. We will put that preset on a raw image, and then we have to go through and pretty much perfect every single bit of it. So if we put that preset on and say you have like a darker complexion, and that preset, it just either it darkens it too much or lightens it too much, we have tools that we use that we've worked really hard on to make sure that we perfect your skin in like the skin tone. So it's the closest thing to what you're getting.
To make you look natural. It's not like
Yeah,
we're
we
going to
don't
put
wanna-
you through Facetune and make your skin look like, I don't know.
A doll.
No.
We want to make sure that your skin tone's correct. We want to make sure that every single last bit of it is exactly the way that we know works best.
What you hired us for.
You hired us for. You hired professional photographers. We're not slapping a filter on it and charging you money.
And if you do want something tweaked, it's better to reach back out to us and be like, hey,
Have
can you
us do
tweak
it.
this just a little bit or whatever, or just tell us what your vision is and we can try to reach that goal with you.
I think that's also a really good segue into this too, is that we do have clients that have worked with us since we've launched, and they like the, darker vibes of photos.
Yeah.
And we know that because we follow them on social media.
Yeah.
And we tend to edit a little lighter. So when we shot them last, we asked, would you like us to edit these darker for you?
She said, yes, sir.
She said, yes, absolutely. And we're like, okay, fine. Like, that's perfect. Just because we don't promote that certain thing, we're professionals. We can do it. And we would rather do it for you rather than you go and slap an extra edit on our preset and all of the hard work we've done. And those are some of my favorite photos that we've even done as of recent.
Yeah.
And it just shows how, complex everything is, but we are able to do it because we're professionals.
Yes.
So that is a word of advice I think I would give people that aren't in the photography, or both. If you are photographers, and you know that your certain clients like a certain thing, recommend you do it for them if you are, trained enough to do so, or else you will get work out there that doesn't properly represent you. And if you're a client, Never, ever, ever be too scared to ask your photographer if, they can do something for you.
We'd rather you ask,
We'd
and
rather
then
you
we do
ask.
it compared to we do it the way that we think
You want it.
want done, because you've seen our work before, and then you get the photos, and then you put a
Edit on top of a
over them,
preset.
an Instagram edit, which completely just kills everything that we pretty much just did.
The worst thing that can happen is them tell you no. But then, and once
Yeah.
they really tell you no, you can really do whatever you want.
Right.
But just ask, because we really don't mind. We are trained for this specifically. And just because it's not what we promote ourselves doesn't mean we cannot do it. And we wouldn't be happy to do it for you. We want you to be happy with your photos. That's our number one reason we're in business, is to make people happy.
Right. You're paying for a service, and we want to make sure that you are happy at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So, next question is why do you think it is important to have a strong portfolio? And why is it important for, say, up-and-coming photographers to have a strong portfolio?
Trust.
Just to show off skills.
To show off your skill. I mean, if, we were getting married, I wouldn't.
Well, it also,
want us-
it builds credibility as well.
Yeah, credibility, trust.
Yeah.
I put them kind of
Yeah.
together. But if we were getting married, say, I wouldn't want us to hire somebody who didn't have any work to show for them.
Right. 'Cause
I
then,
don't think anybody would. But
it's like a mystery box.
yeah, you just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So I just feel like building a good portfolio will help future clients trust, okay, this is the kind of work and the quality that I'm going to receive if I
Yeah.
hire them. And especially if the work in your portfolio is consistent,
Yeah.
it helps them trust you a little bit more with, this is exactly what I'm getting out of this.
And we've talked about it before, but if you don't have, like, nobody's reaching out to you to get photos done or whatever, then you can ask your family, ask your friends, ask anybody that you know, and say, hey, do you want a free photo shoot?
They're the best.
They're not going to lose any
They're the
money or
best.
anything, and all you have to do is gain something from it, and you get a photo shoot out of that.
I mean, not even that, but say if you're starting off and you did have somebody book with you, and obviously they may not need another set of photos, but you don't have any family or friends, say, that are up to doing that for you, ask past clients. If you're hitting like a dry spot, or
What if you don't have past clients? What if?
No, I'm saying if you do, though. If you
Yeah.
do, if you started and now you're at a dry spot where you're like, I need more to show on a portfolio, like, how do I do that if, like, family and friends aren't helping me? You can always ask past clients if they want another free photo shoot. They'll do it for you.
Okay, so say if I were a photographer, I just got my camera. This is my very first camera.
It's a beautiful camera.
And I don't have any friends. I don't have family who wants to take photos. I don't have anybody who wants photos. I haven't done a photo shoot yet or anything like that. What would you recommend to do?
Facebook.
Facebook? Okay, what about Facebook?
I'm sure a lot of people are aware of groups like What's Up Riverside, What's Up LA, What's Up San Diego, wherever you're local to, there's more than likely going to be a group on there for the community. I've seen it time and time again with new photographers. They'll go on there and be like, hey, I'm trying to build, my business. I'm offering 5 free photo shoots and this is how I would do it too, if I were you. I'm offering 1 free family session, 1 free couple session, 1 free maternity session, and just go down the list, because that's a great way of building your work portfolio. If you don't have anything yet and you don't have anything to show, you offer it free and you say 1 for each, 2 for each, whatever you feel comfortable with. And that'll give you immediately, because I'm telling you right now, people will do anything for a free photo shoot.
Yeah.
If you go on there and you do that, that's the best way of getting some free work under your hands.
I think a lot of people think that they can get away with having their family member or a friend take photos of them on their iPhone, and it doesn't turn out the way that they had hoped it turned out.
And that's okay for people who can't afford, professional work. You get the photos that you want, but I also recommend, if you can't afford it, you do go on.
Like we talked about in the last podcast, where some wedding couples were completely ditching professional photographers and videographers and just doing it on the phone, and we kind of recommended against it. We gave them some alternatives and stuff, but yeah, I guess if that's what some people want, then okay.
Especially for things like I would say maternity, because it's specifically if it's your first baby, personally, but also all your babies are special.
If it's your first baby, get the pictures
Yes.
done. If it's your second baby, okay, maybe. If it's the third, now if you got like 10 kids, we understand. You don't have to get,
But I'm saying for the first baby, if your dream is to have photos to document this, because you're seeing your body change for the first time, and maybe you can't afford what a normal rate is, more than likely, if you go on something like Facebook and you put out there like, hey, this is what I can afford,
Oh yeah, there's people out there who will take that.
will anybody be able to do this for me?
Yeah.
More than likely, even if it's someone that charges $500 for maternity photos, if they see a mom that's in need and has a certain amount of money, they'll take one for the team and they'll do that for you to ensure that you get, what you need,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
But yeah, so that's my biggest thing of advice for building is social media. If you don't have family or friends, or maybe you've already gone through all of them, but you need something specific like maternity or newborn or, whatever that may be, you don't have that to show for, go to social media because people definitely take up offers for free photo shoots.
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's a great way.
So speaking of kind of social media, I think it would also add if you said I'm looking for a free or to do a free photo shoot or whatever and to build like your website. Why is it important to have a website?
It's very important.
Yeah.
I believe that it's important because it's just another way to show your work off.
Yeah.
A lot can be said by a website too, I believe.
Yeah. I'm on our website right now.
It's beautiful, huh?
It looks very nice and bright and welcoming and yeah.
I think that I've even gone on websites before. Well, I'll go on the website and it's very outdated or...
We've gone on some websites that are some local people around us and it was kind of confusing.
Kind of confusing, all over the place, outdated. And no offense to those people who can't figure it out, but personally for me, I feel like I want someone who knows exactly what they're doing with their online presence.
Yeah, you want your photographer to be a little bit tech savvy.
Just a little bit. I mean, cameras are technology.
Yes.
But I think that building a good website and something that's easily accessible and also shows off the best of your work is great for getting clients, and it's very important.
Yeah.
So they can see, and I think that for our website specifically, our website kind of shows who we are.
I would also say people who are scared of investing on a website, it's not that much. I mean, it's a little pricey, but it's not like that crazy of a price. You're not going to pay. I mean, some people, they pay like $1,200 and I never really understood that.
A month?
No, they pay somebody or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't really understand that. I mean,
it's people who aren't tech savvy.
You don't have to be tech savvy anymore. This is not the early 90s where you had to code and everything.
It's a lot easier.
It's extremely easy with who we go through. We go through Wix and it literally teaches you step by step. Click this button to get this result and everything like that. It walks you through the entire thing. All you have to do is just have the content to post on the website.
And it's really not, and it's very inexpensive to build a website. I think we pay yearly. It's really not that much, and I would say it makes a world of difference.
I would say it's passive income. You invest money now to have your website out there and your portfolio out there. People click on it. They book through that website that you did 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And that website is bringing you people and bookings.
You're not, yeah, because it just sits there and it's doing a job for you. It's showing your work without you having to sell yourself.
It's you putting money into something and
that's making you money.
Having a return 8 months
plus
absolutely. Later.
I do think for anybody who, it just depends though. I feel like if it's somebody who's doing photography as a hobby, like maybe they have a full-time job and they, just like to do it on the side sometimes. I feel like at that point, social media is probably good enough. You don't need to build a website if you're not 100% serious with this is going to be your life. But if you are looking to do this full-time as your career, I 100% believe that a website is the way to go on top of your social media presence. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess I can agree. I know.
Okay.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I think that websites are very, very important.
Websites are key. Now, speaking of websites, again, we kind of went back and forth, but online presence, why is that important?
Because I feel like in the day and age that
it's important
to
be social.
Yeah, you're nothing if you're not social. So I feel like, especially with social media, because you get to connect with people. I mean, our website, yeah, people can send in inquiries and things like that, but it's not very, you know what I mean?
It's easier for someone to find
people can't go on there and like our website.
It's easier for somebody to find us on social media than it is our website. People don't just scroll through the internet looking for
And you know what the best way
whatever they go on social media, which I know is technically like the internet, but it's really, it's not
Ton
that
of fun.
specific spectra of the internet.
I think that the best possible way to get clients, in my personal opinion, is through social media when one of your clients posts their photos or their wedding video and tags us.
Yeah.
Because every time it happens, we get an influx of followers on our page.
Oh yeah, everyone's curious.
Other than like Reels, where with the hashtags and the sound you use, obviously it brings people into our page. But I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Word of mouth is incredible when you're growing a business.
Right, that's what we talked about a couple episodes ago, that the strongest way of marketing is through word of mouth.
Yes, and I feel like when people post their photos that they love on their social media, it's a form of marketing for us.
Yeah.
It's kind of free marketing for us, which is so needed.
I
Because, we are...
Yeah, I personally
Right.
don't understand people who put like the watermarks and stuff on there though.
I'm never doing that.
No, I don't like
We've put them on photos before. Like when we were just starting out, we thought you needed to. I don't think we ever posted them
You don't
anywhere.
need them. If somebody posts your photos, that's good for you.
Yeah.
But and it's different if they post it and say that that's their work.
Well, okay, I have
But
a question for
through
you.
Instagram
I
or
don't-
wherever, you can get that taken care of.
I don't know if you can answer me on this, but I'll see people get like their engagement photos back of their maternity family. And when they post them, they have a watermark on them. So does that mean that when the photographer delivers their photos, all photos have a watermark? Or do they send two sets? Do they send ones without them and that's for printing and, personal use? And then anything you're going to post online, it has to be the watermark?
Some of them are, so there's like two. Some of them is brand recognition. They know that the people are going to post them, and so they'll have the watermark on there. The other thing is that they'll say, okay, here's your photos and here's the watermark on them. And they'll be like, oh, the watermark's on here. Can you get rid of those? Oh yeah, that's an added fee to get rid of the watermark.
I would
Totally
never,
against that. I
it's
think
like,
that's
it's like these photos. Can you imagine if there was a Snapduo watermark on them? I don't want that on my wall.
right.
So I was just curious if, it's two sets of photos you get,
It's-
one with a watermark for posting, or if some photographers just send out all their photos with a watermark on
I
it.
think you can pay extra to get the watermark taken care of.
That's too much for me.
Like through the service that we use to deliver our photos, there's actually a button on there where we
I
can
see
put
it,
a
yeah.
watermark on there. We'd never click it because we don't want the watermark on there. But if I feel like the only time maybe we would put a watermark on there because we were afraid that we weren't going to get tagged or anything was if, say, Kylie Jenner we did a shoot for Kylie Jenner. And she's got over 400 million people on our Instagram. Yeah, we might slip a little watermark in there so people will be able to follow us and everything. But
Wow. Yeah, I get you. I've never understood that. I never understand when people get like these very nice photos taken and there's this like chunky watermark on the corner of them.
I just don't like watermarks. I mean, there's
don't
like
either.
certain watermarks where it's like, okay, because it's very like faint. But there's some of them where they're just kind of in your face, and I don't really understand that.
And also, I feel like if you are,
Why is it called a watermark?
I have no idea. If you're good at what you do and you build relationships with your clients, 9 out of 10 times they will tag you in the photos without you having to do a watermark.
We've had, yeah.
You know what I mean? We've had some people that didn't tag us, and that's fine. But overall, the majority of people that do post them, we do get tagged because they do want to help our business because they like who we are.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it mean? I know you looked it up.
This is so foolish. There's some things like that for like way back in the day that we just kind of need to move on and rename it.
Okay.
This is one of them. The term watermark comes from the way designs were created during the, quote, wet paper stage of making paper, and also from the fact that a watermark resembles a damp spot.
What does that have to do with anything?
There's definitely things that need to be renamed. We should rename it.
An annoying mark? A distracting mark.
An annoyance.
An annoyance. It's just Snapduo is annoyance.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I don't understand the use of the word.
Me either. But overall, I feel like the best form of getting business is through social media
Social media and word of mouth.
and word of mouth, which most of the time it means that they're posting it on social media.
think-
And then they have friends and family reach out and say, hey, who was that? Or they tag us.
I think a good way to is that word of mouth is a higher percentage of bookings. Social media is a higher viewership of your work.
Yes, and then at the end of the day, whether it's a week after they follow us or a year or 6 months, eventually those people who are just silent followers or silent, we don't speak to them, but they like
There are
things,
silent supporters.
they do end up, coming across a day where they're like, shoot, I would really like this birthday party, or my daughter's getting married. They eventually go from just being followers on social media to being our clients. I think that word of mouth actually happens a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But eventually, if, we do have a follower on our social media, they eventually do become clients. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think social media is very, very, very important. I have crumbs on my desk. Sorry. Just thought I'd let you know that. I don't know what I was eating over here.
I have no idea.
Me either.
Okay.
What do you got next?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I want us to define our niche.
Okay.
I can define our niche.
I would say couples,
Yes.
weddings,
Yes.
families.
Couples, weddings, and families. Yes.
Yeah. And when I say weddings, I also mean events like quinces. We do really well with those.
Yeah. We love the quinces.
Love quinces. So I would say, okay, so I would change that a little bit. I would say couples, weddings, and events, and families.
Couples, wedding, events, and families. Yeah.
Do I have a favorite? Couples. Couples are my favorite.
Couples are a lot of fun because on a wedding day, there's so many things going on and there's so many people that you have to kind of be in charge to move around and stuff. And the couples, it's literally just us
And the two of
and
them.
then them. So
And
it's
I think it also helps because we're a couple too.
It's almost like a double date
Yeah, pretty much.
with
And
strangers.
then we form relationships with them, like Haley and Steven, our bride and groom that we went to Sacramento for, Robert and Amy. I feel like it's just, couples are so much fun. And they once they trust us, which is pretty much instantly,
Yeah.
they let us do the most fun things with them. I mean, our last session with Haley and Steven, we had them walking through mud.
There's sometimes where, we'll get pretty comfortable with them, whatever, and we'll ask them to do a certain pose, and they kind of look at each other like,
And then we're like,
let us show you.
Let me change the way that I just said that. And that happens a lot for me. Like at our last wedding, I was trying to explain something to a whole group of bridesmaids, groomsmen, and the bride and groom. And they were all looking at me like, you want us to do what? And I was trying and trying and trying. And I was getting so frustrated because I was trying to explain it, but I couldn't figure out the right words.
Yeah.
And then finally I go, let me just show you a video of what I wanted you to do. And they all went, oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Why didn't we start with that? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, well, I just, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our line of work and the visions that we see in our heads, or we've seen it happen before, trying to vocalize how to do that without showing them is so difficult.
Right. And I feel like a lot of times it's just easier to show our clients what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Like we'll either show them a picture, a video, or most times we'll just do it together. Like a lot of times they don't understand the touching teeth because it sounds a lot worse than it actually is.
Horrible. And it's like my worst nightmare, having to touch someone.
That's gross.
It sounds gross.
The feel of that would just be so off.
And I get the look that they give us when we say it, but then
Touching
once
teeth.
we like show them how to do it,
They're like,
oh, okay.
that's what you meant. Yes.
And
that's
they
what you
are
meant.
always my favorite photos because they're so candid, and being that close to someone's face is so uncomfortable that it just like, I
Like a
love
lot
those
of times
photos.
they'll be in the middle of doing it, and then they'll just start busting up laughing.
Or either one of us or one of them will be like, so how does the other person's breath smell? And then they'll just start dying, and those literally make for the best photos.
Yeah.
It's always the very strangely explained poses that
What's the other one that we do? We do the bumping one.
the slamming into each other. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Walking like you're intoxicated. That may sound odd
The
to
drunk
people.
walk.
The drunk walk is what
Yeah.
it's called.
What if they've never been drunk?
Good for you. I'm proud.
No.
More power
they've
to
seen it
you.
in the movies
Yeah.
or somewhere. So
Yeah, I love our job. Sorry.
yes.
I don't even know if that was on topic of what we were talking about, but I could talk about what we do all day long.
Oh yeah. So and then one of the last things that I have on here is why it's important to be patient. About
I'm the wrong person to ask. Just kidding.
about patience. You don't have no patience.
I like things done when I want them to.
We both like things being done,
In a
right
timely
then and
manner,
there,
yeah.
and it might tick some people off sometimes. We don't really care, but
Patience is key to growing a successful business because you'll get the harsh reality that it takes time.
patience is worth it if you're trying to reach a specific goal and you want to reach it with your specific vision.
If you rush things, they're never going to get done properly. So okay,
Just like speeding,
this is a good example. If we rushed getting into weddings,
it wouldn't be fair to the clients.
it would not be fair to the best day of your life, okay? If we rushed, and we really wanted to do weddings right when we started, but did we think we were even close to being ready for that? Absolutely not. So I feel like that's also the same for everything in a business. Is patience is key to do things at your 100% like strength of doing it. If you rush into everything, nothing's ever going to get accomplished correctly. And I think we learned that rather quickly.
I think we have rush patience.
Just to be like completely open with who's listening.
Yeah.
We thought that on launch day we were going to get 10 bookings right away. We thought that our phones were going to be blowing up.
Boy, did we have a harsh reality.
We had one that day.
We had to work.
We had one booking that day.
We had to work.
And that was kind of like oh crud, what did we just do?
I feel like that's what a lot of people have a difficult time with. I feel like with us it's a little bit different, especially with being patient, but also kind of be like what I just said, rush patient.
Yeah.
Where we kind of do things a little fast, but we're also pretty patient if we have to be.
I feel like the only things we really do fast though is give each other the knowledge and the skill.
Right.
And like we've moved pretty quickly throughout our business, but not because we just wanted to get through things. It's because nobody sees the work that we do behind the scenes, studying and practicing and doing this and doing that, especially in that first year and a half of business. Even now, if we're going to be honest with each other, we eat, sleep, and breathe our business. And it's going to be like this probably forever.
Well, when you're passionate about something, why wouldn't you? Why would you want to be lazy about it and not do anything about it?
If you're
like, I don't understand when people say that they want to reach a specific goal in their life, but yet they don't do anything to actually achieve that goal.
Amen.
I don't understand that. Like, if you want to be a professional photographer, then go out, do the research, study, go shoot something, do something that
do
to
something
make it where you're
productive
out
towards
there.
where you want to be. And I feel like,
or like a videographer. Yeah, right now I don't have time because we're editing, a wedding and we have different things going on, whatever. But eventually I'd like to do a short film.
and that's just pushing your boundaries. And
Right.
I think that's so important.
It's expanding, what we already know.
My dream is to do a wedding
You only
on
live
both
once.
film and digital. Do I think I can handle that capacity at the moment? No.
But that's definitely an
But
achievable
it's
goal.
achievable, and I know I can do it. So it's just, we just always want to push our boundaries, but we also don't want to rush things. And I feel like some people think that we're crazy when they're like, well, why aren't you doing this? Or why haven't you done this yet? And we're like
somebody, a couple months ago before we started the podcast, they're like, you have 4 weddings to edit, and this amount of shoots and this, and you guys are trying to start a podcast. You guys are crazy.
I think at that same time too, the person who said that was asking us to do something for them, like do them a favor. And I was like, we don't have time. Like, we are overwhelmed. We've been going to bed at midnight every night trying to get everything done. And they're like, so you don't have time, but like you're starting a podcast next week? And I was like, yes, because
it's investing in our future.
When we say we're going to do something, we do it. But I'm telling you now, whatever you need help with, I can't do it.
But like something like that, where it's if you want to achieve a certain goal, then you have to do the actions. It applies to everything in your life. If you want a brand new car, then you have to work for that. If you want to lose weight, you got to stand up. If you want to become a photographer, you have to do the research. Anything in life that you want to achieve, you have to put in a specific amount of effort in order to get that done.
Absolutely.
And if you don't,
I think
don't cry about it.
I think we're very logical about our time and the decisions that we make regarding both our personal and our business life. And patience is just something that we're really good at. I mean, there's family members that are very curious to why Vincent and I aren't married yet. And we'll tell them the same thing every time. What's the rush? You got to be patient.
There's
have
no rush to get married.
We have specific goals.
You're going to live longer than, the people who are here now, and I'm going to live longer. That's just how everything is going. So technically you're 25, I'm 24. So technically if you equate that or fix that to like their age, whatever, and they're like 50, 60, whatever, then, we're 20.
Yeah, it's just that's something I guess you could say that we're really patient about, because we have specific goals in our life that we want to do and things we want to accomplish before we get to that step.
We have shit to do.
We have a lot of shit to do, okay?
I don't understand it.
And so
there's
that's
no
just
rush.
it's something.
There's certain things that you can rush, and there's certain things that there's no need to rush. Getting married, there's no need to rush. We obviously know it's going to happen eventually. We understand that. We're basically pretty much married right now. The only thing we haven't done is sign the paper.
And change my name.
And changed your name. That's it. Other than that, what else? We got 4 cats together. We have a business together. We're with each other 24 hours a day. Right. We do everything
We share
together.
a bank account.
Right. So there are certain things where you can rush, and there's certain things where you can just relax and be patient on. But when it comes to investing in your future, get your ass up and let's go. Put some action into your words.
Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do today.
But at the same time, it's also important
to take your time and do it
take
properly.
Your time, do it right, and you'll have a better outcome.
Absolutely. I'm pretty happy with where we are at the moment.
Where we're at.
Life-wise, business-wise. I mean, obviously we have big goals and big things that we want to get done, but we just work and work and work and work.
Where's the Rihanna song when we need it?
Work, work, work. I can sing. I can sing just like Rihanna.
Oh, boy.
No comeback? Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would just say patience is very important. And sometimes we run very thin on it. And other times we have an abundance of patience. It just depends on the day, how much work we've got going on.
We're not doctors, but we got patience.
Amen. Sometimes.
Get
some Diet Coke in me and I'll have patience all day long.
I'm drinking a Liquid IV right now. What are you drinking?
Nothing.
You're not drinking anything?
I'll get a Diet Coke when we're done filming, though.
What?
I know. It's the first podcast I don't have a drink. And I am thirsty.
I don't have a drink up on the desk either.
What are we doing?
Well, I mean, normally we don't film at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, this is usually an 11 p.m. thing, and then Domino's after.
We had Domino's yesterday. Like, we normally film on a Monday, but today is Tuesday.
We were a little
So we have
this
to,
week.
right now we're filming it, then we got to edit it, then we got to upload it by tomorrow at 9 a.m.
And we'll do just fine doing that.
We'll do
while
just
editing
fine.
a wedding, too.
Right. Shit gets difficult, but you got to keep going. You can't just give up.
No, we don't have time for that.
Anything else you want to add to this specific area? Anything? You got any questions? You got any commentary? Do you have a specific goal that you have other than shooting a wedding in both digital and film?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is it?
Getting to a point where I'm so comfortable with my editing that we can shorten our turnaround time for weddings.
I know, we're working on that right now.
Yeah. So that's a big goal. I would also like to shoot another out-of-state wedding. That's a big one. And then I would also say, what's another one? I think that's, I would like to do an out-of-state. I want our turnaround to be shorter. No, I think that's it for right now. The only other thing I would add to this whole segment is, just because we did kind of get into our personal life for a second there, I would say you're never too young to start your own business, and you're never too old to start your own business. Some of the most successful people in the world didn't start their own business until they were in their 30s, 40s, 50s. And I just feel like I don't even remember how old we were when we started this.
You don't got to go to college to have a successful small business. You don't need to live in Silicon Valley to start a specific business or whatever. You don't need $1 million to start a small business.
No.
All you need is
dedication,
a good brain,
and the basics. We
All
started
the
with the basics.
information is at your fingertips. You're watching us right now with the same energy that you're watching us right now. You can also watch an educational video on whatever you want to start a business on or learn something about.
After you're done watching this video.
You have the whole internet. The entire world is in your hands.
I just think
Use
that
it to your advantage.
I would just like to point out that when we started our business, like when we decided that this is what we were going to do, we had not one of these items that we use today. We didn't have a single piece of equipment. We didn't have any of these computers. We didn't have anything that we have today, and we grew as our business gained traction.
Yeah.
And I just really want to point out that I feel like at whatever age you are, if you're just graduating high school, if you want to start selling bracelets in high school, like, you know what I mean? Just like whatever the business is,
right,
just
and
do
there's
it.
no rush either. I feel like a lot of people our age, and maybe a little bit younger, get stressed out that their life isn't moving as fast as they had hoped.
I'm guilty of that.
I think we
I am
all are
definitely
kind of
guilty
guilty
of
of
that.
that, but I think that is just us being a little too tough on ourselves.
It's also the harmful things of like TV and watching a movie and hearing that they just graduated college and, you know,
Right, and
they're
seeing
off
that-
and doing crazy things.
Seeing
and
that, what celebrity's close to our age? Isn't Kylie Jenner close to our age? She's like 26,
she's a
right?
year older than me, yeah.
She's a year older than you, and they say, well, I guess she's not a billionaire.
She is
That was
now.
all fake.
She wasn't then, but I think she is now.
Was she a billionaire?
Either
from?
way, it's a lot of money. Okay?
I mean, it's a lot of money, but I guess
Kylie Cosmetics.
money doesn't necessarily
mean you're successful.
mean that you're successful, because you can just have money and that's it.
I feel rich every single day with the relationships that we have with our family
Yeah.
and our best friends.
Yeah.
Knowing that we have the most amazing and supportive, incredible family that we do, that
We might,
believe in us, and also our best friends, Kayla, Freddie, Paul.
We
Liz.
might not have $20 million in the bank,
No,
but we have a
but it doesn't
family
matter.
worth way more than $20 million,
And best friends.
and that's the only thing that matters.
Because at the end of the day, that's all you need. We have the best
Strong
friends,
support
the best
system.
family. We have each other, okay, and that's huge. Like, we get to not only be together and be a couple, but also be best friends and also be in business together. And there's nothing better than that, in my opinion. This
Yeah.
is like my dream.
Yeah.
It better be yours too, mister.
I'm sitting here with you. I would
So,
say
I would just say just do what you need to do. If you don't have a support system, make friends online. It's possible.
but be careful.
Reach out. No, that's not what I meant. I meant reach out to others in the industry that you're looking into getting into.
Reach out to us.
Reach out to us. We will tell you the good, bad, the scary, the fun, because our business is so fun. And yeah, I think that was all I want to say.
I would
You're
say
never too young. You're never too old.
Yeah.
And it's not about how much money you have. It's about your dedication to what you want to do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Anything?
I need to work on a short film for my goal.
I'm going to be the star, obviously.
No, you can't be in it, and I can't be in it.
Why? I should definitely be in it.
But I want to do a short film, and I see a lot of people doing short films, and they go, okay, I'm fundraising for it.
Mm-hmm. Kickstarter?
I want to do it for $0.
With the amount of equipment we have, I'm sure we could.
Yeah, but like a lot of people, they go, oh, well, I have to get a permit to film at this location, whatever. I feel like we know enough people to be able to get certain locations that we want, you know?
It's us, okay?
I'd like
We
to- I'd
figured
like
out
to do it for
everything
$0.
thus
Like,
far.
I don't understand certain things. They go, oh, yeah. Like for example, Halloween, that took them $300,000, but if you
It's not a short
if
film,
you
though.
adjust that with inflation, it was $1.4 million back in their day.
Well, who are you? You have to pay the people you hire to be in the movie, though. Who are you going to hire? Ava?
I guess, but
Ava
I
could be
guess
in
I
it.
would just like word it differently and just say it's a fun thing to do. Not like they're doing anything, you know, as cool. Then
Can
film
it
a
be,
short film.
Can it be scary?
So yeah, that's all right. I was thinking about that. Like if it would be scary.
I'm
if
loving
would
it. I'm
be-
all in.
I don't think it'd be funny. I think I'd want to make it more of a psychological movie. I like psychological movies where it makes you think.
Yeah, we do.
You know, it's just that part of your brain that you don't like to go to.
I get you. I like those kinds of movies. They freak me out, but I like them.
Yeah. Like the Fog.
I hate that movie.
Yeah.
Is it The Fog?
The Mist. The Mist.
Whatever it
The
is,
Fog.
it was just, the movie messed with my head. I think it was The Mist. I think The Fog's John Carpenter.
The Fog, I think, is John Carpenter. Something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, but I don't think that I have anything. Do we have anything else to
Add to this?
add to this?
I don't believe so.
Oh,
I do. Just to wrap up the premise of the theme, how to stand out, I would say what we've learned recently is that your clients and the potential clients love to see you. So for social media presence and things like that, Vincent, your arm is in my shot.
I'm stretching. I'm sorry.
Everyone wants to see you. Post more about even like what food you're eating, where you guys are going. Do mini photo shoots of, you. Your clients love to see you. And that's really big. Something we've learned recently is that your clients don't know these other people you're posting. They don't know them.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, wow, it's a great photo. But like, they have no connection to it.
I think that's something that we're definitely starting to understand. And
a little bit more is that we
have some ideas on some different reels and posts that we want to do. But there's one in specific, the one that I talked to you about, people reaching out to book.
Yeah, we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, that would be a good reel. But yeah, that's what I would say is that
controversial.
is that people want to see you. If you're running the business, they want to know more about you. They want to see what you're doing every day. Maybe not every day, but make sure you're the face of your social media. I think it's really important.
Yeah. To be funny, be yourself, and show it.
Be relatable too.
Be relatable.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready for Snapped?
Oh my God. We haven't got to Snapped yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh my.
Not.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We got really into this week's topic, so.
Passion.
This one I'll just cut it short, so I won't read the whole thing. I'll just read like excerpts from it. Okay.
I forgot about that. Wow. My bad.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Couple lied to me saying wedding was called off.
Dun dun dun.
Long story short, I had a couple book me for a wedding which would have taken place today. I sent them a contract. They signed it for wedding coverage day of. Gave the couple an option to send over the deposit through Venmo or check. The bride says in her email, I don't have Venmo and I will not send a check. I do not have Venmo, so I went ahead and sent her the information on where to send the check to. Mm-hmm. Never got the check with the deposit, but figured they may be strapped for funds at the moment, so I didn't worry. Mm-hmm. On January 19th, the bride asks, I got the contract signed. How can I send you the $500? Again, I told her that I did offer Venmo. She said I don't have anything like that. Asked again for my address for the check to get sent to, so I sent it to her again. So I sent an email to get some timeline stuff a few weeks back, no answer. Then I reached out by text and asked, hey, just wanted to make sure that we're still on for this weekend. I sent an email, did you get it? Bride responds, I'm sorry, I forgot to email back. The wedding's been called off.
Damn.
Okay. So the only reason she kept trying to reach out to her is because she had a contract signed,
Yeah.
But she never got a deposit. So she said the wedding had been called off. Sad. But it wasn't. I was browsing Instagram earlier and saw a wedding taking place at the same venue, ceremony and reception. So I did some sleuthing. I love a good sleuth.
Sleuthing?
Yeah, it means, you're looking around.
Wow.
Come to find out the couple was in fact having a wedding, but they had booked someone else less experienced and presumably much cheaper. I'm not even mad or disappointing, but I can't recall in the nearly 10 years of being in business of this ever happening to me. Is it my fault for not getting a deposit? Sure. Mm-mm. But if the issue was money, then just tell me that instead. Mm-mm. Or if you had found someone else, I understand. I'm fine with rejection after all this time. But to say the wedding was just called off, why lie though?
I would say that the photographer sent over everything. The bride loved it, whatever. She signed it. She was ready to
It's a signed contract.
She was ready to book. She did book. She signed the contract. She didn't send the thing. I think somebody got into her ear and said, hey, you're going to either spend X amount of money on this really good photographer, but why do that when I have a friend who's done multiple weddings before, and either I'll pay him or he's only like $200 or whatever. You know, I think that's what happened.
She was
Someone
all
got
on
into
board.
her ear. Yep.
Yeah. I don't like that she lied.
I think it was more of an awkward lie. Like
An
she
awkward
was
lie,
uncomfortable. Yeah. She knew she signed the contract, but you know, she had the intention of actually booking her. But
clearly
somebody
if she
got
signed the
into her
contract.
ear.
Because some people on here were saying, you know, why would you message her if she had never sent you the deposit and hadn't been talking to you? Why would you text her the weekend before the wedding and ask her if you were still on? And she was like, because she signed my contract.
Right.
Regardless, she goes, what was I supposed to do? Move on, not reach out to her, and then the day before her wedding be like, hey, I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to get back to you. I've been so stressed out. See you at the wedding. What would have
been messed up if that bride had signed the contract and then somebody else reached out to that photographer wanting to book that day and she turned that person down? I'd be livid. That would be a much bigger thing. But I didn't. Be livid. Yeah. So it was just somebody got into her ear. She felt uncomfortable saying, I found somebody else or somebody else is going to be doing it. And so she just lied.
I did see something really quickly. I saw something the other day that I thought would be interesting for us to think about, is that somebody sent in a deposit for a wedding on a specific day for this photographer. Mm-hmm. And a couple months had gone by and she said, hey, we canceled the wedding. Can I have my deposit back? And this is, you know, normally you would think that the photographer would just say no. Like, sorry, it's non-refundable. Yeah. But this specific photographer said, I don't do refunds. Like, I won't give you your money back unless I get a booking for that same day. Like, before the wedding, obviously. If I get a booking for that same day and I get a deposit for them, then I will have no money giving you your money back. But if I don't have a guarantee that I'm still working that day, you're not getting your money back. I thought that was very interesting. I meant to say something to you about it, but I forgot. Right. And so they just said to them, unless I get a booking that day to where I'm still working and getting paid for that day, no, I won't give it back. But if I do, I'll give you your money back. Right. It's not ours in the contract. It's non-refundable.
Right here, cancellation. Except for non-refundable deposit. Yes.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. But back to this. Yeah, I do probably think that someone came into her ear and said, I have a better option for you. I have a cheaper option for you. But I do think that full-heartedly this couple did plan on hiring her for their wedding.
At least the person who had reached out to her 100% did. And maybe if it was the bride, maybe she went to her soon-to-be husband or whoever and gave him the price, and they freaked out. Like, whoa.
What's interesting is reading through all these comments, the number one comment was, no deposit, no booking. Contract doesn't mean anything if you don't have a deposit.
Well, yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Which I think the same thing, because if we got a booking and they signed the contracts and everything but refused to send a deposit, that's not really a booking to us.
No.
Because the deposit's put there in place to...
You're purchasing our time for a specific day.
Yeah,
correct.
Absolutely. So...
Yeah.
There is Snapped for this week. I had another one, but we'll just keep it short because we...
Is the other one short?
It's just like a follow-up on this, so like it's another story that's similar. But do you want me to just say it really quick?
Yeah, say it real fast.
Okay. It happened to me once too.
We only say this like we're not in a rush or anything, but Reese's camera has a feature in it that stops recording every 30 minutes. My camera does not have that problem, but hers does. And so that's why if you ever see me looking that way, it's because she has a monitor on her camera because it stops recording every 30 minutes, which is an extremely annoying thing. But the only reason they did that was to
avoid video tax.
To avoid paying taxes. Yeah. Certain taxes on the camera.
Video camera import tax.
Yes.
Okay. So really quickly, someone said this happened to me once. Story time. I did a couple's engagement photos. They loved them. They emailed me later saying that the wedding was off. and asked for my retainer back. I declined and explained that if I rebooked the date, I'd return their retainer. So it's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
I've got some friends in common with the wife, and I noticed that she still had one of the engagement photos I took up as her profile picture a while later. So I looked at her page. It says married. I got to wondering why they didn't change the profile picture to a wedding photo. Then I saw the wedding photos. They were awful. She is a white woman and he is a black man, and the photographer clearly didn't know how to expose for that. So you couldn't see his face in most of the images.
Oh no.
I didn't say anything. I haven't seen either of them pop up lately. So she still had the engagement photos that he or she took of them up on her profile picture because the wedding photos were bad.
And that's
what she got.
That would really suck. And that's really unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate. Again, though, it's another person that said, the wedding's off. I'm assuming it was probably for money reasons, which happens. And then to find out they did end up getting married and the photos were just not.
That sucks.
It sucks. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And
I bet that person is regretting their decision.
Yeah. And I just, it just takes me right back to talk to your photographers.
Always be truthful
People
and say, hey,
work with you.
Wow, the price that you sent me is crazy. Can we work something out? And 9 times out of 10, we most likely will be able to work something out as long as it's not something astronomical like, oh, please do the whole wedding for free.
$200.
Yeah, I mean, we will most likely work with you because we want to ensure that you still get a high quality product, photo and video, or just photo or just video, for your most important day.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
2 very unfortunate events.
Unfortunate, but avoidable.
And thank you for listening to Snapped.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's wrap this up.
With that, we want to appreciate everybody for watching. If you've made it this far, we really do appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe. If you're watching it on Spotify, please make sure to follow our page. And if you have not already followed our Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with behind the scenes and everything more about us, we'd really appreciate that as well.
Make sure to look at Instagram. You can find us at SNAPPDUO. We are about to run out of time.
Follow us. We appreciate it.
We can wait to see you next week.
Yes, we will most likely have more to show, and hopefully we'll go to the pumpkin patch too. Got about 20 seconds left.
That being said, thank you and bye.
Bye.